little pony, what is friendship all about? My little pony, friendship is magic. I used to wonder what friendship could be, until you all shared its magic with me. When I was young, I was too busy to make any friends. Such silliness did not seem worth the effort it expends. But my little ponies, you opened up my eyes, and now the truth is crystal clear and splendid summer skies. And it's such a wonderful surprise. My little pony, I used to wonder what friendship could be, until you all shared its magic with me. When danger makes me wanna hide, your rainbow dash to my side. Kindness is never the short supply. Once bitten, twice buttershy. For honesty, no pony can deny. You are the applejack of my eye. 100 so beautiful, a rarity to come by. And you all make fun and laughter as easy as picking pie. My little pony, I used to wonder what friendship could be, until you all shared its magic with me. Our friendship's magic, and it's growing all the time. A new adventure waits for us, each day is yours and mine. We'll make it special every time, we'll make it special every time. What a wonderful wonder friendship brings. You know you're all my very best friends. You're my very best friends. You're my very best friends. You're my very best
Pinky, what are you doing? Run!
Oh, girls, don't you see? When I was a little filly and the sun was going down,
Tell me she's not.
the darkness and the shadows, they would always make me frown.
She is.
I'd hide under my pillow from what I thought I saw, but Grammy Pie said that wasn't the way to deal with fears at all.
Then what is?
She said, Pinky, you gotta stand up tall. Learn to face your fears. You'll see that they can't hurt you. Just laugh to make them disappear. Ha, ha, ha. So giggle at the ghostly, guffaw at the grossly, crack up at the creepy, whoop it up with the weepy, chortle at the kooky, snortle at the spooky. And tell that victim scary face to take a hike and leave you alone. And if he thinks he can scare you, then he's got another thing coming, and the very idea of such a thing just makes you wanna Oh, the Grand Galloping Gala is the best place for me. Oh, the Grand Galloping Gala is the best place for me. Hip, hip, hooray! It's the best place for me, for Pinky. With decorations like streamers and fairy lights and pinwheels and pinatas and pin cushions. With goodies like sugar cubes and sugar canes and sundaes and sunbeams and sarsaparilla. And I get to play my favoriteest of favorite fantabulous games like pin the tail on the pony. Oh, the Grand Galloping Gala is the best place for me. Oh, the Grand Galloping Gala is the best place for me. Cause it's the most galloping, superly terrific gala ever in the whole galaxy. Surprise! Twilight is my bestest friend, Whoopee. Whoopee.
Pinky.
Cutest, smartest, all around best pony. Pony.
Pinky.
I bet if I throw a super duper fun party.
Pinky.
She'll give her extra ticket to the gala to me.
Junior speedsters are our lives, skybound swords and daring dives. Junior speedsters, it's our quest to someday be the very best.
There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump. See? It's not very far. Just move your little rump. You can make it if you try with a hop, skip, and a jump.
We don't have time for this.
A hop, skip, and a jump. Just move your little rump. A hop, skip, and jump. 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 A hop, skip, and jump.
Okay.
And that wicked enchantress Sakura lives there doing her evil stuff. Oh, she's so evil. I water.
Here we go.
She's an evil enchantress. She does evil dances. And if you look deep in her eyes, she'll put you in trances. Then what will she do? She'll mix up an evil brew. Then she'll gobble you up in a big tasty stew. So, what's up?
Wow, catchy.
It's a work in...
She's an evil enchantress and she does evil dances. And if you look deep in her eyes, she will put you in trances. Then what will she do? She'll mix up an evil brew. Then she'll gobble you up in a big tasty stew. So, watch out.
3 months of winter coolness and awesome holidays.
We've kept our hoofsies warm at home. Time off from work to play.
But the food we've stored is running out, and we can't grow in this cold. And even though I love my boots, this fashion's getting old. The time has come to welcome spring, and all things warm and green. But it's also time to say goodbye. It's winter, we must clean. How can I help? I'm new, you see. What does every pony do? How do I fit in without magic? I haven't got a clue. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. Let's finish our holiday cheer. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Bringing home the southern birds. A Pegasus job begins, and clearing all the gloomy skies to let the sun shine in. We move the clouds and we melt the white snow. When the sun comes up, its warmth and beauty will glow. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. Let's finish our holiday cheer. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Little critters hibernate under the snow and ice.
We wake up all the sleepy heads so quietly and nice.
We help them gather up their food, fix their homes below.
We welcome back the southern birds so the families can grow.
Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. Let's finish our holiday cheer. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. No easy task to clear the ground, plant our tiny seeds. With proper care and sunshine, everyone it feeds. Apples, carrots, celery stalks, colorful flowers too. We must work so very hard, it's just so much to do. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. Let's finish our holiday cheer. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Now that I know what they all do, I have to find my place and help with all of my heart. Tough task ahead I face. How will I do without my magic? Help the earth pony way. I wanna belong, so I must do my best today. Do my best today. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. Let's finish our holiday cheer. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Winter wrap-up, winter wrap-up. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here.
All you have to do is take a cup of flour, add it to the mix. Now just take a little something sweet, not sour, a bit of salt, just a pinch. Making these treats is such a cinch. Add a teaspoon of vanilla. Add a little more and you count to 4 and you never get your fill up. Cupcakes, so sweet and tasty cupcakes. Don't be too hasty, cupcakes. Cupcakes, cupcakes, cupcakes.
Thread by thread, stitching it together. Twilight's dress, cutting out the pattern snip by snip, making sure the fabric folds nicely. It's the perfect color and so hip. Always got to keep in mind my pacing, making sure the clothes correctly facing. I'm stitching Twilight's dress. Yard by yard, fussing on the details. jewel neckline. Don't you know a stitch in time saves 9? Make her something perfect to inspire. Even though she hates formal attire, gotta mind those intimate details. Even though she's more concerned with sales. It's Applejack's new dress. Dressmaking's easy. For Pinkie Pie, something pink. Fluttershy, something breezy. Blend color and form. Do you think it looks cheesy? Something brash, perhaps quite fetching. Hook and eye, couldn't you just simply dive? Making sure it fits for lock and crest. Don't forget some magic in the dress. Even though it rides high on the flank, rainbow won't look like a tank. I'm stitching Rainbow's dress. Piece by piece, snip by snip, croup, duck, haunch, shoulders, hip, thread by thread, trimmed and pressed, yard by yard, never stressed, and that's the art of the dress.
Stars on my belt need to be technically accurate. Orion has 3 stars on his belt, not 4.
Stitch by stitch, stitching it together. Deadline looms. Don't you know the client's always right? Even if my fabric choice was perfect, gotta get them all done by tonight. Picky by the colors, too obtrusive. Wait until you see it in the light. I'm sewing them together.
Don't you think my gown would be more me with some lollipops? Well, I think balloons will do it!
Hour by hour, one more change. I'm sewing them together. Take great pains. Fluttershy, you're putting me in a bind. Rainbow Dash, what is on your mind? Oh my gosh, there's simply not much time. Don't forget, Applejack's belts must shine. Dressmaking's easy. Every customer's call brings a whole new revision. Have to pick up the pace, still hold to my vision.
That constellation is Canis Major, not minor.
French haute couture, please.
Whatever rhymes.
Galoshes! More balloons! Oh no, that's too many balloons! More candy! Oh, less candy! Oh wait, I know! Streamers!
Streamers.
Whose dress is this?
Streamers it is.
What?
Aren't you going to tell me to change something too?
No, I just want my dress to be cool.
Do you not like the color?
The color's fine, just make it look cooler.
Do you not like the shape?
The shape's fine, just make the whole thing, cooler. It needs to be about 20% cooler. All we ever want is indecision. All we really like is what we know. Gotta balance style with adherence, making sure we make a good appearance.
Even if you simply have to fudge it,
Make sure that it stays within our budget.
Got to overcome intimidation. Remember, it's all in the presentation. Piece by piece, snip by snip, croup, duck, haunch, shoulders, hip, bolt by bolt, trimmed and pressed, yard by yard, always stressed, and that's the art of the dress.
Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your sleepy head. Hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed. I know this one. Oh, how wonderful. Why don't you sing it with me? Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your sleepy head. Said hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed. Okay, sweetie, that was drifting off to sleep, the exciting day behind you. Drifting off to sleep, let the joy of dreamland find you. Thank you, sweetie. Hush now, quiet now, lay your sleepy head. Said hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed.
break a leg. Good luck.
Look here, our 3 little ponies, ready to sing for this crowd. Listen up, 'cause here's our story. I'm gonna sing it very loud. When you're a younger pony and you're Dating's hard to do, so we test our talents everywhere until our faces blue. We are the cutie.
Okay, I think Mr. K is done with his show. What a great intro, guys. What an insanely good intro, guys. But that has nothing to do with the show today. Our show today is about a little 15-year-old boy. A little 15-year-old boy making his dreams come true on the internet. And, no, I'm not muted, piece of shit. And trying to make video games. Video games in a little game called Blockland. And the name of this little boy is Ivan. Oh, what the fuck is Ivan X? Oh, we have to, just bestätige das. Yeah, thank you. The name of this little boy is Ivan X. Now, who could Ivan X be? Ivan X is a young 15-year-old boy from Florida who's dreaming of making it big. He has stars in his eyes, and a chip on his shoulder. And this little guy, 18 years ago, he was making his game, his city RPG, and he needed some help. So he turned to the Blockland forum because he wanted to make a digital jail. He wanted to make a digital jail where he could imprison the people that were playing his game. He was asking for a little bit of help with his digital jail, and he was asking the Blockland admins to do it for him. This little programmer guy, he could have been Nudge. But, are you kidding me? There's a big fat line between kicking, banning, and putting in the corner. I remember reading somewhere that bad spot had a soft spot for in-game punishment. Now that I think about it, I suppose it wouldn't be against the rules to send me the notification over MSN. Bad spot makes me a sad panda. I don't see the point of a jail. I mean, it sucks to be on the one jailed and you can't do anything, and it adds unnecessary client load to the server. Why waste your bandwidth on some player who will be really pissed off when you could just kick him? Don't ban unless it's serious, though. That way they can earn a chance at redemption and actually learn from their foul-ups. Good point. I call myself sadistic and want a jail. Same aspect as banning plus the self-satisfaction of having someone hunched under your palm. So immediately you can tell something might not be correct with this Ivan guy. This little 15-year-old boy, he's calling himself sadistic. He likes banning people. And he wants to have people hunched under his palm. Now, why could that be? I mean, at least he's funneling his passion. He's funneling his pain to do something productive. He's trying to make a game. He's trying to make his video game. He's not really crazy. He's not oversharing here. Oh, what's this? Ivan, no! Little 15-year-old Ivan, no! What are you saying? Topic? I want to kill my mom. What are you? What? No, Ivan, come on. This is not the little go-getter that I expected you to be. Let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Let me give you a rundown about her. She's a slut who had me at 18. She's the sole reason I am pro-choice. I'm hoping more horse that got knocked up at her age and would become stuffy parents would abort their kids, as opposed to bringing them up miserably. She's 33 or something now and is single. Having her pusillanimous individual. What's individual rated in the last 8 years? What the fuck does that mean? Of course, now that the last of her eggs are being destroyed by the body, she's constantly in an angry state. Oh, that egg theory by Josh Moon in 2007. Based Josh. She reminds me constantly about how pathetic I am, about how I suck at the last fucking slivers of joy out of her mind, and how horribly unproud she is that I fell from her womb. I want to kill this lady, since she has no love in her life besides possibly her own parents. And I would rather sit on this computer I am on now for the rest of my life than spend one more loving day with her. She has cats to add some bonding to her spirit. She speaks to these 2 cats like she would a roommate, asking them how they were, how their days have been, and if they're hungry constantly. God forbid one of them meows back in response, thus ushering in an hour of Googling while I monitor the uselessness from the other room. If my computer could pay the bills, I'd kill my mom. If my computer could pay the bills, I'd kill my mom. Now, if there's ever been a more prophetic statement, I don't know. I don't know which one it would be. I mean, he's basically killing his mom by absolutely ruining her chances at any genetic offspring, and just being a miserable little pile of shit. And his computer, he's trying hard to make his computer pay the bills. So when is Candy Potter? You better watch out. Candy Potter, better watch out. Because the computer has started to pay the bills. The Canon 187. Now, this guy's probably got a real good take on the situation. If she doesn't have a job, take everything that you can or that you need and move on. While I didn't have a problem with my mother, there just wasn't enough money to keep me around. So I was homeless between the age of 11 to 13. But really, after I had figured out what I should do, I asked my grandparents if I could live with them. And I lived with them until July. My mother has a better job now and she can afford to look after me, though I pay some of the bills. It's not nearly as bad as it was when I couldn't eat every day. What the fuck is this? There's some real fucked up people on this forum. What the fuck? She's not poor. That isn't the problem. I obviously have enough money to keep a computer running 24/7 and to keep me as fat as I am. Josh, no. No. Oh, it's tough. Oh, it's tough out here, Josh sisters. I've never gotten a dime I didn't need to spend blood for. Out of her 60K yearly paycheck after yearly fees and such, almost all spare money goes into savings of some kind. Yeah, his mama is really retarded, you know. Why is she saving the money instead of giving it all to her 15-year-old son who wants to kill her? You know, what a stupid ass Candy Potter is. What a dumbass. Knowing her, she'll probably fucking blow her retirement, which will be millions by the time she does retire, for the sole purpose of me not getting jack shit. Agitated isn't affiliated with this. She tells me every day to get the fuck out. God, I sound like a whiny emo bitch right about now. I need to kill her just to show I am boss at this point. Yeah, I know. That you really shouldn't be doing that one, Josh. Yeah, Josh, go kill your mom or no balls, piece of shit. Go kill your mom, Josh. I prescribe Fred. This is the Bad Spot. Bad Spot, by the way, is the owner of the forum, the guy who made Blockland. That's Bad Spot. This guy's telling Josh to fucking get retroactively aborted. If you know what I'm saying. I lolled. You defecate on my server, then me? What's next? Not my mom's cats, I hope. And what does Josh Moon do? You know, this bad spot guy just starts taking a giant shit on him. And Josh, he opens his mouth and asks for more. This dumb piece of shit, this bootlicking little maggot. He lays down and asks for more. You piece of shit, Josh. Is Bad Spot our guy? He definitely is our guy. I don't know if he's in any more of the threads that I'm gonna be pulling up, but from the few directions I've read between Bad Spot and Josh, Bad Spot is definitely our guy. Bad Spot is actually, except for the fucking running a forum for a bunch of 15-year-olds and being a weirdo fucking online guy, he's actually pretty based. Yeah, somehow none of the people are saying, "Hey, are you insane? Are you retarded? Maybe log off." That's not what people were saying back in 2007. They they were just encouraging him. Oh, talk to a school teacher about it. I'd rather die than talk to some post-menopausal Bible thumper about me wanting to murder a parent with a steak knife. What the fuck would that solve? Well, Josh, it would have solved a lot. Honestly, if you had taken these problems and talked to a teacher about it, that would have probably solved a lot of fucking things. But he didn't. Yeah, okay, this is when he closes the thread with, no, 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 no. I'm not here to talk about my problems. Closed. Okay, Josh, it wasn't the other people bringing up your mom in this thread. Like, the thread is actually called Topic I Want to Kill My Mom. Josh. It wasn't other people bringing your mom up. I'm not here to talk about my problems. Closed. I mean, what the fuck were you here to talk about, you piece of shit? I mean, this guy, he hasn't aged a day past 15. Like, you will see the same fucking behavior all the fucking time. Josh Moon is still stuck in Blockland. And I'm gonna prove it to you. This guy hasn't moved out of Blockland. He's still on the site. He's still locked in his mind. He's never gonna leave Blockland. This site has mindfucked him so bad, he's gonna stay on it forever. You might think, the Kiwi Farms is his current obsession. The Kiwi Farms is his big life's work. Nah. The Kiwi Farms is just Blockland 2.0 for him. He's forever stuck on this. Oh, little Ivan. So what else did Ivan get up to? If he's not just asking for, random coding advice or whining behind the scenes, what else does he do? Well, he makes threads like this. Topic, you're all stupid dumbasses. The 15-year-old child insulting all the other people on the forum, trying to help him out, the guys with the real coding experiences, making actual games, and like this piece of shit. He comes in with this. You're all stupid dumbasses. Just trying to antagonize the entire forum. Who knows what's wrong with this Ivan guy? Ivan, what's wrong? Should we call your parents, Ivan? Stop with the stupid fucking memes and misspelling. That's why I got banned from George Bushido's server. Making fun of how fucking handicapped and new-friendly everyone was. I don't think it makes you cool to run around and screaming as many fucking memes as possible in one sentence. Well, I think it made people really cool. I think... Oh no. Oh no. Ivan. Who's this Colton guy? Ivan, you ban, we all ban the Ivan. This Colton guy seems to have a problem with our boy Ivan. I wouldn't know why. Lulz, I really do hope no one holds this against me, but you all still fucking morons. Yeah, this is, What do you guys think? Is this going to turn out well for our little boy Ivan? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because one of the other things that Ivan likes to do when he's not antagonizing the entire forum, he likes to antagonize single people on this fucking forum. Like Phoebe. A little guy called Phoebe. There was a thread here. Phoebe is an immature little kid that changes pose names, spams the forum because he's bored. People were hating this Phoebe guy. You know, this Phoebe guy was really causing a stink in the community. Now he comes in here to defend himself and say, you know, I'm not bored, but where can I find the latest version of playing it? Any idea? That's all he has to say. And Ivan says, you know, Phoebe's existence is next to intolerable. You know, you really can't stand this Phoebe guy. He really does not like this Phoebe guy. But Phoebe points out this is a spam topic too. So shut it, man. And entrepreneur, and thanks for the niceness in your post. I know about the internet, just not these forums. Phoebe, very based Phoebe, doesn't know anything about the shitty ass forum, doesn't even know what's going on. You know, righteously points out that this is also a shitty fucking spam topic. But of course, Josh is gonna break all the rules, but you know, is gonna be the biggest stickler for the rules. But he's gonna break all the rules when it comes to fucking with his with people he doesn't like. If there's a rule to be broken to make fun of a guy like Phoebe, you know, he's gonna break it. Our little Ivan. But this should have also been in the Ivan X already. But yeah, let's get to the second guy here, because that's pretty much what you can expect from the average Ivan X post. That's pretty much Ivan X. But for some reason, you know, Ivan X, that account just wasn't used anymore. Just somehow this our little guy Ivan, you know, he had to move on to a new account, and he made Ivan Z. This new account, you know, it's got a weirdo fucking profile picture, because people started to figure out that this guy, you know, he really hates Mac products. And, you know, Ivan, you know, he makes up really fucking stupid rules about people coming into his games. You know, and if somehow the game fucking detects that you're using an Apple product, you're gonna get banned immediately. Banned. Gone forever. That's what happens to you if you use a Mac product. So, people, you know, all these fucking factors coming together, you know, him just fucking antagonizing fucking everyone on the site, generally shitting on everyone, just being holier than thou, but still asking for advice all the time, you know, that's cost our little Ivan to have a few enemies, you know. And having enemies is not good, because enemies could post stuff like this. Stuff like this, all of a sudden, you know, Colton comes in and he posts a private conversation. You know, our little Ivan, he thought this was all private. I hope you can read this on screen, but I'm gonna read it to you. Joshua says, alright, time to jerk off to some Neko Shoda. Yeah, I'm fucked up, I know, BRB. Wait, I thought you hated furries. Neko is not furry. I just googled it. It was a half cat, half boy. A single cat appendage is not he spells everything wrong. A single cat appendage is not equivalent to a dog with some human features. And that's not why I hate furries. necoshoda.com/indexshoda.jpg. Well, if you are braver than I, you know, you can go to this link and see what the indexshoda.jpg is. Also, they're all little boys. Yeah, hence the word Shoda. Yeah, you need to learn your lingo. Yeah, this Colton guy, he needs to learn his lingo. He's not nearly as cool as Josh. He's not nearly as cool as Josh. He doesn't even know what show that is. But a boy jacking off to a boy? A regular doesn't cut it anymore. I drench my sorrows and procrastination so often that it becomes too hard to get off to heterosexual intercourse for the sole purpose of reproduction. Piece of shit. This guy needs to be shoved in a locker. You need to expand your pornographic interests if you do it too often. Oh, okay, so I'll go over to me and start jerking off. Men. I've done it. Oh, Josh. Oh, no, Josh. And people are apparently getting mad at Colton. Because Colton apparently got banned for this post. Apparently, Polton got banned for this post, you know? And Josh, you know, he doesn't know anything about this. You know, he never said any of this, but he's immediately in the replies, you know, sweating bullets, just posting reply after reply, just trying to seem as nonchalant as he possibly can. You know, all the things he still does to this day. Maybe, but then it would be only a draw. Right now it's a victory, 1-0. Yeah, he's gloating because Colton got banned and Josh didn't. So he's taking this as a victory. Rabbit girls, that's just gross. Yeah, jerking off to little boy cats. Jerking off to little cat boys, you know, the thing that that Nick Fuentes got crucified and run off the internet for, you know, that's based in Red Pill. But jacking off to little rabbit girls, you know, that's gross. That's just gross. We don't do that here. Wasn't it crying girls? Probably, yeah, also jacking off to crying girls. You know, this guy, I don't know, guys. How do we feel about this Ivan guy? Because I'm starting to think, you know, our little 15-year-old Ivan might be a sick little puppy. You know, this guy might be a real sicko. You know, with the kind of stuff he posts, you know, the kind of enemies he makes, and what people are saying about him. Now, could this guy be a little sicko? I don't know. Maybe this post by him about blowing up his own toilet and telling us giving us a very detailed explanation of his last shit. You know, maybe this one's gonna shine some light on the situation. Oh wait, let me enhance this, guys. You can't even see the whole post. I clogged out my toilet, flushed, and ran back to black and white tube. In the course of 5 hours of non-stop power abuse, I get up to get some iced tea. I notice my kitchen floor is drenched. Using my 8th detective skills, as granted by Detective Conan, past Avatar, I discovered the source. A bowl full of my shit. It had leaked under the wall and into the kitchen. Thank fuck the toilet lid was down, or I'd spent the last hour not only mopping up a dozen gallons of water with towels, but scooping up my own defecation. Well, this is one fine day to be nude. What the fuck? Okay, this is kind of insane. I don't know why nobody posted this one before, but this one's... he was fucking... So, he went he fucking clogged the toilet up with how much he was shitting, because he was storing it up for so fucking long, because he was playing Black and White 2. Let's pull up Black and White 2. Let's pull up Black and White 2, guys. This is it. This is the game, guys. This is this is the game. Is this a great game to to almost shit yourself over? Is this the game where you could almost fucking shit yourself for? Black and White 2. This is not the game to shit yourself over. I don't know. Black and White is a good game? No, I don't think so. So he fucking almost shat himself. You know, he went to take a fucking giant dump in the toilet, clogged it, and then just went back to his computer for 5 hours. And he he only noticed that he fucking clogged the entire toilet because went to get some iced tea and then used his ace detective skills and noticed that the kitchen floor is drenched. So the bathroom was so flooded it leaked through the wall and into the kitchen. Like, this is some fucking permanent damage to the house. Even his house fucking sucks, which it probably did because we'll get to it. But it fucking leaked through the wall and into the kitchen. I mean, it was leaking for like 5 hours, so that's probably some fucking permanent damage to the house. I mean, his mom probably got really fucking mad. He probably really wanted to kill his mom after she was done yelling at him for this little blunder. What a piece of shit. Well, but this little Ivan guy, you know, he's kind of turning. I don't know what happened over this last year, but he's kind of turning into a sick puppy. He's kind of turning into a sicko. Maybe someone should have taken internet access away from this guy. Maybe this guy shouldn't be on the internet. But, you know, he's 16 at this point. And he's doing a little post on the Blockland forums. You know, confessions you'd only tell strangers. You know, that seems kind of tame. So what's Ivan got to tell the community? In a strict role-playing game I did online, I made multiple characters just to create different scenarios with one person. She didn't know I was doing this. When she found out, she stopped playing. This was because she believed I was stalking her. Okay, so this was probably stalking. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say this was probably stalking. Because, he was doing a lot of role-playing shit with this particular girl. And the stalking shit, you know, it comes up all the time with our little Ivan guy here. Comes up all the time that this little sick puppy is trying to stalk people, or that people at least think that he's trying to stalk them. But why would they think that this little innocent baby angel is stalking them? You know, he's just online, and you know, you imagine this: you are in Brian Dunn's, you know, sector D&D game. You know, you're enjoying a fresh session of Brian Dunn's Sector D&D game. You know, all the best people are there. Juice and Dark Ninja and all the guys. But then one day you find out, you know, all the people you've been playing with were just one guy on 4 different accounts. And, you know, it wasn't Dark Ninja and Juice and Brian Dunn, but it was actually Josh Moon the entire time. It was just this one guy, and he was trying to fuck with you. Wouldn't you get mad? Wouldn't you think, you know, maybe this guy is fucking cyber stalking you? Or even better, you know, it wasn't actually Josh Moon. It was Persip trying to fuck you. It was Persip trying to fuck you in the ass, actually. That would make this more coherent. You know, because Josh Moon, you know, he's not into adult men. He's not into adult males, which is all of my chat. So, let's continue with these confessions. When I was 11ish and putting on weight, no, not at 11, Josh, no. We had a project in history class involving newspapers. I saw an ad for a weight loss pill and thought they had cured fat or some shit. So I yelled in glee and told everyone in the room, only to find out it was an advertisement. No. Josh, no. Oh no, Josh. Oof. Well, we're all strangers here, Ivan. We are all strangers here. Nobody knows who you are. You know, you can tell us. Oh, you can tell us all about That one time you were 11 and you were yelling in glee in the classroom because they found the cure for being fucking fat. Oh, pizza days began. Hey, why did you delete that message, you piece of shit? But yeah, pizza days began very early on. Like he's, I hope I have that thread still pulled up, but he's gonna talk about his love for pizza. When I was 12-ish, I had forgotten my lunch and saw a lunchbox in the hallway someone had dropped. Among its contents were a sour gummy string things pack with the sticky note, "I'm really proud of you," attached to it. I stole and ate them and had trouble forgetting about them until this year. Ah, Josh. So this fat piece of shit, he stole someone else's lunchbox and fucking ate the candies his mom packed him. His mom packed the kid candies in there, put a sticky note in there. "I'm really proud of you." And Josh was so jealous, so mad, and so hungry, he just took it and ate it. This is like a bully origin story. What a piece of shit. Holy shit. Fat kindergarten kid waddling around stealing lunches, yeah. Yelling in glee when he finds the cure for fatness in the newspaper. Jesus Christ. This is sad, Josh. This is like actually sad. I would never take other people's food. Yeah, that takes a fucked up guy to do that. So let's wrap up Ivan Z. Let's wrap up the Ivan Z account. So what kind of guy is Ivan Z? You know? Suggest some song titles to me. I have a very small collection of songs that are becoming very boring. 4 and 5 stars are rated by my Windows Media Player. So what's this guy listening to? You know, you gotta remember this is 2008. So he's listening to America Fuck Yeah. Okay. The meme song. Hey There Delilah. Yeah, that's a classic song. I should have maybe played that one as an intro instead of 15 fucking My Little Pony songs. How Far We've Come, Party Hard. This is Sparta. This is Sparta. Remember, this is Sparta, guys. Welcome to the Jungle Stronger, the one by Kanye West. Sheesh. Little Josh, Kanye's fan in 2008. Based. All I Ever Wanted. Is that the name of the song? Depeche Mode, All I Ever Wanted? American, of course, American Idiot, Cult of Personality, yeah. Of course, Ivan was a big CM Punk guy. Who could have seen that one coming? But you know, this goes on and on and on. You know, a typical like 2008 kids list. Then he says, "I really prefer early 90s and 80s music." You know, he's not like the other kids from this generation. You know, he was born in the wrong generation. Who would have guessed that, you know, Josh Moon was one of those born in the wrong generation kids? You know, he really prefers the 80s and 90s music. You know, he doesn't listen to any of the modern stuff. I will never forget This Is Spider. Yeah, neither will I. Neither will I. So that was Ivan Z. You know, it's kind of jarring, you know, how quickly this went off the rails. You know, we went from Ivan X, you know, he might kind of made a weird post, you know, wanting to kill his mom, which was, you know, kind of insane. But then Ivan Z comes in and he totally goes off the rails with all the porno posting and all the weirdo shit, and all this fucking stuff is being like, maybe Ivan needs to just learn to not talk about all these things all the time to total strangers on the internet. But yeah, Ivan Z down the shitter. Now we have Ivan. Ivan himself. No more Z's, no more X, no more Y's, just Ivan. Let's fucking see what this guy is up to on the forums. Don't go back. So what does Ivan's usual interaction with the community look like? You know, we've got this nice little thread here. Nickelodeon is bringing back classics in mid-March. You know, big news in 2011. And 2011, this was big news. I've always liked Cartoon Network better. Based Ivan comes in and says they are both awful. I don't know if it's rosy retrospect or if they just generally degraded into sugar and product-laden regurgitation. You know, why is this nigga always talking like Sephiroth? Why is this nigga always talking like Sephiroth? Why can't he talk like a normal fucking person? What the fuck is wrong with you, Ivan? What the fuck is wrong with you? No, I don't want to buy Perennial, you piece of shit. Yeah, you know, but he's calling out Nickelodeon, you know, he's calling out Big Cartoon. He's calling out, Nickelodeon and the Cartoon Network. He hates both of them. Yes. Nostalgia Climax says Lizzie Rascal. Now, who could Lizzie Rascal be? I don't know if this girl is going to be important for the rest of the story. But here's Ivan, you know, talking to this random stranger, apparently, and saying, you know, you're 12. These shows came out before you were conceived. You know, the based old Chad, the old fag Ivan coming in and telling the little 12-year-old piece of shit where his place is. You know, you are 12, I am, he's 19, he's like 19, 18, 19 at this point, and this little bitch is 12, telling him what's good and what isn't. She doesn't even know what these shows are. She wasn't even conceived at that point, you stupid bitch. Maybe you should shut up. Maybe that's what you should do, little 12-year-old bitch. Don't talk to Ivan like that. Ivan knows everything. But, you know, Ivan, he made some enemies. He made so many enemies that, oh, fuck, this is still in the archive form. Wait, let me get the original here. We don't want the archive. That there had to be a mega threat. They had to make an Ivan mega threat. Because you people can't get enough of him. And discussions of him and what he does is so important, and every thread has to do with him. There needs to be an Ivan mega thread. This is Ivan. He got banned for being stupid and making a dismissive post, if I remember correctly. Lurking is hard. He made an alt because the Blockland forums is so addicting. So yeah, discuss Ivan. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, you know, the reason he keeps making new accounts is because they get banned. He made so many new accounts because he always got banned. And, you know, the Blockland forums didn't have any restrictions, and, you know, it was a something awful type of deal. You know, if you wanted to make a new account, you'd have to buy a new version of Blockland, which was $20 at the time. So this little boy, you know, barely an adult, you know, 19 years old, 18, 19 years old, he fucking bought three fucking separate instances of Blockland, which cost him $60. $60, which is not an insignificant amount for a little fucking child, for a teenager. You know, $60, that's kind of a lot. Was that Ike guy affiliated with Jersey? I think he was some big forum guy. So if Ivan and Burton came back, couldn't others? Yeah. Or you can just live with the fact someone is popular. You know, it's bad spot getting a new thread every day. Yeah. So this was just. It was just. He was stirring up so much shit on this forum. The fucking admins had to do a fucking mega thread on him so they would stop fucking infecting the all the other threads on the website. Which the reason for that probably is that fucking stupid ass Josh Moon posted on all the accounts and always made fucking comments about himself in every other fucking thread. Yeah, but here he is. I actually feel bad for Bad Spot because you know that every second he spends looking at these forums are 3 seconds of his life expectancy. So, Josh, you knew back in the day that running these forums is a fucking death sentence. It's a fucking disaster. All of these people suck. You're gonna get a heart attack. You're gonna be a fat loser who sits in his basement all day trying to manage this stupid fucking forum. And you didn't want to do it because you knew all these risks. So the only reason you are doing it right now is because you have nothing else for you in life. There's no other door open to you, Josh. The only reason you are doing, you hate it, you've always hated it, but you're addicted to it. You're addicted to posting on the forum. You don't want to run your own forum. You just want to post on it, and you want to get paid to do it. Somehow you managed to do it, but you have to run the forum now. And you hate it. As you should, because it fucking sucks. And all the people you invited on your fucking forum are fucking retards and idiots. And every second you look at your fucking Kiwi farms are 3 seconds of your life expectancy. And the clock's fucking ticking, Josh. The clock is ticking. And honestly, it can't tick fast enough. I hope we can speed the fucking clock up. You piece of shit. I hope you get way more drama and way more fucking forum bullshit that you can get involved in, so you have to keep looking at your stupid website, and I hope you have to look at it more. I hope we make more stings to make you angrier, to make you have a heart attack even quicker. You piece of shit. Or just get off the internet. I find it hard to believe that I've done something in the last 3 days to warrant all this attention, negative or otherwise. Every thread I posted draws fire in some way, shape, or form to me. Since I've registered, I've received 40 private messages. I didn't ask for this. I do not like drama. I'm very passive and I try to be light-hearted. But holy shit, everything I say is apparently a controversy. I say I'm 18 and live alone. Matt needs to point out that's so not right. Oh my god. I say that you don't need to make a drama post because some guy who's functioning properly has an alt everyone knows about. Apparently that's the only fucking reason the drama board exists. I say Carl Peter is an idiot. Carl Peter is Steve Jobs, Matt Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates combined into some sort of super-ass that graces us with his presence. Most of the people that insist on jamming me with their incessant horseshit are people I've never met in my entire life. Who the fuck is Caution? Who the fuck is Plaid? Who the fuck is Ike? Who are these people? Why am I the Antichrist? There's at least 5 of us that I've never heard of who immediately decided they do not like me. It's not that I can't take it anymore, it's that I'm legitimately confused what happened to make myself such a big juicy target for this kind of attention. Well, maybe you should have stolen less of the fucking gummy bears from other people's lunchboxes. And maybe you wouldn't have been such a big target. Josh, maybe. Maybe not. But there's one key piece still missing, guys. There's one key piece still missing in the story of our little friend Ivan here. And that little piece is stalking. You know, you've not seen it, but it's been happening the entire time in the background. This guy, you know, he is in threads all over, up and down the Blockland forums. He's talking to stalking. All the time. He's in love with stalking. They're talking in DMs. They're making war fetish art for each other. He's paid $300 for war fetish art of her and him. It's kind of insane. It's a whole fucking thing. And here he is, trying to control every aspect of stalking's life. Trying to tell her how to live her life and micromanage it over the only fucking thing he knows in his life. The only place where he has any control whatsoever. The Blockland forums. I tried to tell stalking this over Steam in private, but apparently they don't care about my input on the subject as much Taboo doesn't care about their input on English. So I put it out in the open for you guys. For us guys, you know, he's posting all of this for us. You have to remember that. You know, our guy Ivan posting all the stuff for us. The short is, you're not going to accomplish something. People here evaluate how they're going to treat someone completely on personality. And Taboo is rather likable. How well he types is irrelevant, and I cite Bizjack as evidence. You, on the other hand, stir up shit every thread. I thought you loved the shit stirrers. Hey, I thought you love all the shit stirrers, Josh. I thought PPP is your favorite because he's the greatest shit stirrer on the internet. You've been attacking Taboo for a month straight, and even after his 2-week ban, continue to persistently incite him over his grammatical usage online. Even when it doesn't involve Taboo, you're always ready to make an argument to the bitter loving end about something completely frivolous, because you have an argumentative nature. You're allegedly a 15-year-old girl with English as a second language, calling into question this man's entire career on the assumption he's telling the truth. You're calling his master's degree in English not earned. You're putting years of study to the fire just in a vain attempt at humiliating him for no reason other than your admiration for the study of language. Bro, Josh was doing this same exact thing on the Ibanez account, if you guys remember. Just, it wasn't the English language with him. With him, it was coding. You know, he was a 15-year-old little piece of shit who was coming in here and telling everyone about how to actually code in Blockland. And he was 15 and he was antagonizing everyone. But now he's coming in here and telling Stocking how to conduct herself on the forum and how to, you know, become more likable. You know, maybe, Ivan, maybe you should have taken your own advice. Maybe you should have taken your own advice, and maybe you shouldn't have been such a fucking cunt to everyone who was trying to help you, Ivan. Maybe you should have focused on maybe making the game, maybe learning some programming, instead of always just going on the forum and shitting up every thread you went into. Even if you're right, even if we assume that Taboo is completely idiotic with zero knowledge of the subject for what she teaches, even if every time you make one of these outrageously infantile jabs at him, you make him cringe and feel bad, that's all you're doing. You're pissing off someone with no real-world implications for the sole purpose of pissing him off. Isn't that pathetic? You know, you really should have taken this advice, Josh. You really should have taken your own fucking advice, you dumbass. You're making infantile jabs at someone who has no real-world implications for you for the sole purpose of pissing them off on the internet. You're a dumbass, Josh. You're still a dumbass. You're still on the Blocklands forums. You're still 15 years old. You never grew up. And you were never able to take your own advice. You know, somewhere there's a voice in your head telling you to do the right thing. You know, there is some common sense in you. You know, you can tell other people to do the right thing, but you just can't do it yourself. Somewhere that voice probably is still inside you. And maybe you should start listening to that voice, you know, before it's too late. You know, you're not going to be older than 60. You know, you've lived a shit-ass life. You know, you've been fat your entire life. You've been eating nothing but pizza and pizza rolls. You've been sitting on the computer for 20 years now. And you've probably fucked up every relationship you've ever had with anyone in your real life. And you're sitting here telling other people how to live their life. Maybe you can still turn it around, Josh. Maybe. The amount of effort and emotion you put into these arguments and rants, it's also disgusting. And hearing about your paranoia caused by having nobody on your side is getting on my nerves. My guess is people aren't on your side not because you're incorrect, but because you're egregiously offensive, and putting someone's name in your favor is dangerous considering how unlikable you are almost all the time. Holy fucking shit. This is Josh, 121. I should have put this on at the end of the stream. Holy shit, I should have thought about this more. Like, this is what you should do, Josh. We'll read this again at the end of the stream. not too long ago you said you really like your current avatar because it reflects on your personality. Well, you're right. You're loudmouthed, demanding attention, and out for blood almost all the time. When I no longer benefited directly, you used every piece of information I had told you about myself in a week's time as a weapon against me. You're not a good person, and you never will be so long as you keep this endless cycle of fucking with people up for no real reason. Please grow up. Josh, please grow up. Wake up, Josh. Wake up. Now, did Stocking actually reply to this? I don't know if Stocking... Oh, based Morrowind. I don't know if Stocking actually replied to this or if this is just Josh screaming in the wind. But, yeah, that's the kind of relationship he had with Stocking. You know, they were falling out every fucking day. They were fucking having fucking fits at each other all the time. And, you know, Stocking, you know, that relationship is fucking weird, but I won't say it was pedophilic, because they were just 2 years apart. Okay, I think with the 2 years apart, you know, it's fucking weird. You're 19 years old, you shouldn't be fucking arguing on a fucking Blockland forum with fucking weirdos on the internet all day. But, I wouldn't call him a pedo for that one. Not for that relationship, at least. His rival was a little girl. True. So, here's Ike again. Ike the generic. We need to get this guy back. You know, base Deus Ex profile picture, hating Josh Moon from day one. You know, nobody's been a bigger Josh Moon A-Lock than Ike the generic and Bad Spot. Those two guys need to make a comeback. If anyone knows how to reach out to Ike the generic, is this guy still around? Last active 2022. We need to reach out to Ike the generic. This guy needs to come back. What a king. So, he makes a thread. Topic, Ivan, or why I don't like him. So, what's Ivan been up to on the forum? Ike is gonna enlighten us and tell us why people hate him on the Blockland forums. Get Ike on the kill stream? That would be Kino. Ivan is one of the older members of the Blockland forums. According to him, he's the shit. Why? Because obviously he's got 2 cents for everybody. But why is there such a problem? He usually goes against his 2 cents on a regular basis. This is a 30-page thread with Ivan and Stocking fighting with each other for the dumbest of reasons. This will possibly never end because Ivan is an immature brat who's never going to grow up. He's already stated that he's 18, but he still acts like a kid. Why is this? Because he doesn't see any issue with himself, and obliviously continues with his destructive behavior. Did you see that every post... Oh, wait, let me scroll up. Did you see that every post of his inside every drama topic he has made or contributed to contains 2 or more paragraphs? Did you know that half of them are biased or complete bullshit? Not everybody wants to believe this because he's one of the older members. No matter who they are, they have to be respected or they leave. Why? Because for some odd reason we have to preserve the forums. Nobody wants to say goodbye to the starfish that made up the minority of the population of users back in 2008 and 2007. So because everyone loves the forums, nobody cares to point out what the fuck is wrong with Ivan. Let's make a list. He's a hypocrite. Josh Moon is 4 things. He's a hypocrite. He's a sore loser. He thinks he's always right. He's oblivious to his behavior. And he's a piece of shit. Yeah. Near the end of the thread between him and Stocking, he says, he reminds me of a 21-year-old virgin he knows. What? While it's kind of stupid relating a loser virgin to a loser kid, he then says he still really likes me and that he only insulted me because he was mad. He's trying his best to keep people liking him. He actually has no idea why he's half respected. If confronted with the reason why, he would most likely reject it. This is called granted ego. Getting a big head because somebody likes you. or that somebody said something nice about something you did or said. Everyone does it. So I'm not saying it's your fault Ivan is a jerk. I'm saying that you shouldn't blindly compliment him and stick up for him just because he used to be here back then. Hadn't you realized that every old user is getting banned? Half of the people still here from those times are starfishes, no? Only a few of them are decent people. So unless Ivan comes to the realization that he's a jerk-ass and that everyone likes him because he's an older member, he's going to be banned again. And he'll come back again, rinse and repeat. Unless he mans the fuck up and faces his self-issues. He's going to continue to be broken and loved for the wrong reasons. It may be the internet, but it still reflects upon you no matter how unimpressionable you are. So now let's point out constructively what's wrong with him. He needs to realize why everyone likes him. He needs to come to terms with why those who don't hate him he needs to come to terms why those who don't hate him with a passion. He needs to heed his own advice or stop giving advice at all. He needs to calm himself. Need not another permanent ban and yet another alt, does he? He's still a person though. He doesn't need to change. He doesn't need to rearrange his personality. He just needs to listen and not speak when it's least needed. I know I have half a mile to speak about this topic, but if he gets banned again, it's only going to make things worse. Holy shit. Holy shit. Now, if this wasn't the most true post you have ever seen in your entire life, I don't know what is. Ike the Generic, he had it all figured out back then. And what has Josh Moon learned from this post? Absolutely fucking jack shit. Jack stuff, as they would say on the Blockland forums. It's dead on. It is dead on. Like this guy, Ike the Generic, he had it all figured out 14 years ago. Talk about an OG. Now with this gigantic truth nuke dropped on Josh Moon's head. Is he in the replies? Oh, there he is. There he is explaining himself. So what's he gonna reply to? Did you know that half of them are biased or complete bullshit? When you write something, it will be biased. You are only capable of writing something from your own point of view with your own knowledge. Until I become omnipotent and omniscient, my writing will be biased. Not everybody wants to believe this because he's one of the older members. No matter who they are, they have to be respected or they leave. I've never lauded myself over anyone because of my moderate seniority within the community. Many of the people I respect the most on these forums have only recently arrived. Likewise, many of the people I respect the least have been here since the dawn of time. There's no validity in this statement. Near the end of the thread between him and Starking, he says he reminds me of a 21-year-old virgin he knows. Well, it's kind of stupid relating to a loser virgin to a loser kid. He then says he still really likes me, and that he only insulted me because he was mad. You absolutely do remind me of Curtis, but I'm sorry to say that I was actually addressing Skip with the apologies. I was mean to him for no reason on Steam, and he's a cool guy. Sorry for the confusion. I'm not going to spend another 20 pages arguing with the same 4 people about the same issues. Everything that can be said about me has been said. And it's going to dilute very quickly into the typical crowd of jackasses calling me a child enthusiast over and over again with nothing of substance being said in between. Colton already went there before I even replied. So this will be my only reply in this thread. If we are to assume that anything you said is 100% accurate, there's nothing to be debated. People do not change, especially not because of a long-winded rant in the drama section of an internet Lego forum. Though I appreciate the effort for what you honestly believe is an attempt to change me for the better. Shikata Ganai. So, this is where Josh Moon's mind broke. He had a chance at this point to actually take the advice and make something of himself. But what did he do? he quetched, he cried, he complained, and he wanted everyone else to have pity on him. And he said, there's nothing I can do. You know, I'm pressing buttons, there's nothing I can do. I'm sending forum messages, but my life is just not becoming magically better. You know, I'm pressing the buttons on my keyboard, I'm typing out the messages, but there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do here. So let's look at this. Let's look at this little spat between our protagonist and his internet girlfriend, I guess. Let's see what those two were up to. So what's oh fuck, it was this thread. Where were the stalking replies? Where does this start? Maybe I should have looked further into this. Stalking isn't even in this thread. Let's just skip to the end. Let's just skip to the end here. Fat dog gave stalking her key, then she lost it. Yeah, okay. Let's not. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Let's move on to the next post. Let's move on to the next post. You know, some people who've paid attention at the start of the stream, you know, there's gonna be a big payoff for you right here. There's gonna be a big payoff here. It's Phoebe. Phoebe is back, ladies and gentlemen. Phoebe has come back with a vengeance. You know, in 2008, at this point 3 years ago, Josh Moon on 2 accounts ago for him, 2 accounts and $40 ago, he made a post that Phoebe's a piece of shit. People on the forum, you know, we do not like Phoebe. Fuck Phoebe. I hate Phoebe. And now Phoebe comes back with an effort post. Phoebe comes back with a vengeance. Ivan, we don't want you here. And look at this beautiful, beautiful post. Before you go all wah, Phoebe's butthurt, read the entire thing. Ivan is in general a friend. He's been banned twice, yet he came back both times being the same hypocritical friend. Quote from Ivan on May 24th. Let's pick on a 12-year-old girls to inflate the size of our snakes. Ha ha ha, silly little girl. Not too long ago, you said you really like your current... yeah, we've read this one. Please stop being a hypocrite. Post a valid... Please stop being a... Okay, so what people are saying here... Josh Moon was running defense for stalking, you know, saying, you know, you should be picking on this 12-year-old girl, you know, just to inflate the size of your EP. Anyone heard that term in a minute? EP? But I'm using it. I'm bringing it back. Don't pick on the 12-year-old girl to inflate the size of your EP. You know, this is my 12-year-old little girl. Don't... He stood in front of her like the white knight he is. You know, he raised up his shield and he was protecting the 12-year-old girl. Stand behind me, 12-year-old girl. But then Based Phoebe, you know, points out, not even 12 days before that, you know, Josh Moon was fucking picking on the same 12-year-old girl. You know, telling her, you just want attention, you piece of shit. You're out for blood and want to... you want to stab a knife in my back, you piece of shit. I hate you, 12-year-old girl. So, Based Phoebe coming in here and addressing all the allegations, you know, all the criticisms you could have with this post. You know, post a valid argument against Ibert. I like how Ike comes in here and acts like his word is final and everything he says is an impartial mediation of things with absolute power and correctness. Such a retarded fag. Oh no, he evaded it. Insult Ivan, make a great valid point about him. You know, he's just gonna... if you post a valid argument against Ivan, he's just gonna call you a faggot. You know, he's gonna say, everyone expects your word to be correct. Why is that, you piece of shit? Why does everyone always think you are correct, you piece of shit? Well, he's gonna call you a fag. Insult Ivan, make a great valid point about him. Lol, I don't think that's good faith reporting there, Ivan. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? The following post Ivan I don't like by comment has been reposted by Ivan. Oh no! Oh, Ivan was reporting people. No. Bad spot, bad spot coming out and fucking showing the reports, showing the receipts. You know, if you insult Ivan and make an epic post like this, you know, he's gonna fucking report your fucking account. The reporter. So what did Ivan have to? Okay, let's look at the fucking comment. This one by General Dinnick? What? What does this have to do with anything? Okay, so this is the good post by Ike that we just read, and this guy just says by General Dinnick. And and this fucking piece of shit, he fucking reported him. He said, too cold for the internet tough guy posting for banned user. That's his fucking, that's his fucking excuse for fucking reporting him. And Bad Spot just replies, you know, he posts it all on the forums for everyone to see and says, lol, I don't think that's good faith reporting there, Ivan. You know, he thought it was going to be made by some computer, but based Bad Spot, you know, he's handling every single report himself. He's had several dramas such as Ike's, you know, all the forum dramas, Scout 31, Mega, Patton 360, Mr. Mulch. And seriously, Ivan, we don't want you here. Just leave. Thanks to General Dinnick for the image. Oh, so this guy, So, Comrade was making a post for this General Dinnick guy, probably a guy he had beef with. And Josh reported him for too cool for the internet tough guy, and posting for banned user. Because he was posting for General Dinnick. So, Based Phoebe, thank you for compiling all this. Like, this is how sick Josh was. In 2011, before the Kiwi Farms, like, people were making fucking effort posts, like, archiving all this shit, compiling all this fucking weirdo behavior on the Blockland forums. Like, this is the first of the effort posts. Like, Phoebe and Ike the Generic, like, they were the beta Kiwi Farms posters. Like, Josh was so fucking incomprehensibly terrible to deal with that these guys were just Kiwi farmers before the site even existed. Just to document how much of a lol cow Josh Moon was even back then. Crazy, insane. And he should have taken Phoebe's advice. We don't want you here, Ivan. Just leave. Just fucking leave. Ike tried to fucking tell you nicely. Phoebe's trying to tell you not as nicely. And then by Bad Spots, it's just gonna fucking ban you because you're a piece of shit. Proto Kiwi Farmers, yeah, this is the proto fucking Josh Moon thread. They're gonna kick you out because you're a piece of shit. But yeah, there's another post here. Happy alleged 19th birthday, guy. Happy birthday, Ivan. It's December 19th, 2011, and Josh Moon just turned 19. Great. What a great day for our little guy. What a great day for our little boy Ivan. You know, we've seen him go from a 15-year-old super spurg, and he's turned into a 19-year-old respected fat ass on the internet. He was a Discord moderator before it became a meme. He's fat, he's out of shape, he's eating pizza every day, and he's sitting on Blockland every day. This fucking forum ruined his fucking life. And he's not doing any coding, he's not learning anything worthwhile, he's not doing any programming like he always claims. He's just sitting on the forum all day, talking to stalking. And he's gonna miss out so much life experience that the Blockland forum is just gonna mind rape him, and he's gonna be stuck on this site forever. Because he missed his entire life just to be on this fucking stupid ass forum. Was it worth it, Josh? You're 19 now. You're 19 now, Ivan. Was it worth it? Was it worth it, Ivan? Well, not gonna be too long after that tragedy strikes. Tragedy strikes in January. Like 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later, after his 19th birthday, Ivan's house burns down. Rest in peace, Scott the cat. All the Blockland heads, you've probably seen this one before because this is one of the infamous ones. Last night, Ivan and I were talking when he suddenly had to get up and leave sometime around midnight. A bit ago, he logged on Steam and sent me this. I'm not gonna read the whole news article, we've all heard it before. The names and locations all check out. It was definitely his house. Photos of his house after the fire. JoshuaMoon.name/fun. I bet Josh set the fire. Maybe. I mean, he already fucking fucked the kitchen wall up with this toilet antics. Maybe he set the fire too. Maybe this was his fault. Take note of the last line in the news story. During an interview with the officers, Denton said, "I feel better about the cat than her." That's fucking based. I mean, maybe we should take some pity on Candace. Maybe Candace Potter wasn't all that bad. You know, she had to deal with Josh Moon. You saw what a turbo spurg he was on the internet. She couldn't deal with all that shit. She was a single mom. She was just trying to live her life, you know. She was just trying to provide for her family. And what does this little shit do? You know, he destroys the bathroom, kitchen wall by just shitting all over the toilet because he has to play Black and White too. Maybe Candace Potter was right. Maybe Josh is just the Antichrist. Maybe. In memory of Scott, the cat that would never fucking die. He lived 12 years, I got him when I was 6, he outlived 3 other cats, and my mom always joked he would never die. Haha. Scott the cat lost his life in this tragic act of accused arson. No matter what sick things Ivan has done, no kitty deserves such a fate. Rest in peace, Scott, 2000 to 2012. Let's hear Ivan's take on the situation. I'm sure our little boy, you know, our little Ivan, he's gonna have a great fucking take on this. He's gonna be very reasonable. Hey Otis, you know how last night my mom said to leave because they were fighting? What? And then I kinda poofed? Yeah? Well, right after she told me to call the police because someone had dumped gasoline through the room to the hall to the living room. So I called the police. Okay, imagine talking to a guy about your house being burned down and using fucking meme speak and saying the police and was like, oh, now he's doing this. Okay, people get mad at Gator for his shitty ass fucking VTuber apology. This is worse. So I called the police and was like, this is police. It appears there's gasoline in my house and this dude is bad, real bad. So she says the police is on the way. Stuff Nick. Stuff Nick. So I walk out. Oh, shit, Nick. Otis the house kid is trying to say shit, Nick. Stuff is shit. Shit, Nick. So I walk out to my car and tell him as he dumps gasoline throughout the living room, you guys are fucking retarded. And he says, no, just very dumb. I wish I could say I deserved it, but it was my mom's house, and I'm quite unaffected. You can just burn out anywhere. You can just bomb out anywhere with an internet connection. Yeah. That and a lot of problems were solved. My cat was a burden, although I loved him, and I don't think smoke inhalation was a suitable death for such a loving old man. I do know he doesn't have to deal with my mom's abuse, and nobody has to worry about him now. And I will see to it he gets charged with animal cruelty as well. Oh no, Andrew made everyone miserable, and my mom was too afraid of being alone to see it. He's facing 20 plus years of prison time for arson, violating parole, domestic battery, 2 counts of attempted murder. And I will see to it he gets charged with animal cruelty as well. The house was 30 years old and the mortgage owner on it was twice what it was worth now. It was also on a runway which harbors the Eglin Air Force Base with super loud F-35 jets. Cat, gone and no longer suffering. Andrew, gone. House, gone. Mortgage, paid for by insurance. Time to start fresh. And then some. Feels way better than it should. I'm happy though. I wanted this. We lucked out. Actually, I wanted my house to burn down. This is what I wanted to happen. Yeah, okay, right, Josh. And since I know everyone on this forum is itching to make some kind of comment on the irony of the situation in his final posts on the forum, I'm going to beat you to it. Ich-Verbot. Ich-Verbot on the... This is another of Josh's accounts. I thought this was made under Ivan. I have to move on to it. Colton, that is so old I can't even bring myself to care. I'm not going to be a jerk to her because some dumb angsty cunt on an internet forum took advantage of her trust. In exactly the same way you took advantage of mine. And used her as a weapon against me. You're an awful human being and I hope your child burns to death. User was banned for this post. Oh shit. Why was he banned for telling someone that he hopes the child burns to death? That's totally reasonable. That's a normal post. That's a normal post. Well, yeah, that's the story of Ivan, guys. There was a little more than actually the story of Ivan. There was that was also going into some Ich-Verbot territory. But let's see what he's up to next. What it could be the next guy Josh Moon comes back as. Because Ivan is banned. What else does he have? City RPG. Anyone remember Coney 2012? Anyone remember Coney 2012? Well, Josh remembers. He was a big Coney 2012 guy. Well, this was a weird time for Josh, you know. He was trying to go undercover. You know, Ivan was banned. And he was trying to be a little low key. He was trying to be low key so he wouldn't get seen immediately again. Sadly for him, a poster made the topic: is Ivan actually arrested? Was Ivan actually arrested for having child porn? I'm not in the know, man, about this stuff. Sadly, someone made this post, and yeah. Yeah, Josh couldn't take it. Where's the Josh post? What page was it? 6? So there's his response. What? And people immediately suss him out. They all know that City RPG is just Josh. Because City RPG was the shitty ass game Josh was making. So if he comes in as City RPG, of course, people are gonna know it's Josh. And they're gonna tell him that, no, you're supposed to be in jail, you piece of shit. Yeah, so that was the general air around Josh. You know, people were actually thinking this guy's going to jail because he's got child porn on his computer. Like, people were actually believing that, and he was getting called out because of his child porn shit. Whatever. Let's look at the next post. This is the big post. Everyone who knows anything about Blockland, if you only take one thing away from this whole Blockland stuff, if you only ever see one thing, let it be this post. Joshua Moon in personal agendas. This is the one everyone knows. 209,898 times is this fucking thing be read. Let's get it up to 1 million. Because this is the stalking super post. Stalking fucking hates this guy now. And she's out for blood. So she starts off strong with the Ivan Z post, which is more embarrassing. For me, having my material exposed, my porn exposed, would be simply unimaginable. I'm a super freak, after all. Alright, so we all know Joshua Moon, IBAN's IBAN, has returned as City RPG. Supposedly to turn over a new leaf or something. Despite being the same pansexual borderline rapist and suicide histrionic he's always been. Most of us have already seen the following conversation with Colton about his shoulder habits, but I posted for those that haven't seen. Yeah, this is the shoulder conversation again, we've read this. Besides being a blatant homosexual child enthusiast, and I mean that in the most mature and literal sense, the dude is a fucking psycho. Anyone who's known me has seen the conversation logs I've been copy plus pasting around where he graphically described how he'd like to brutally rape and mutilate me and pretty much any forumer that pissed him off on a certain day. His entire relationship he had with me was mostly out of pity on my part, which Josh Moon sums up quite nicely when describing his depression. Ah, it's tough, Josh Moon. The girl you've been so obsessed with, the girl you spent the last fucking 5 years courting. You know, it was all out of pity, Josh. How does it feel? She was fucking other dudes on the side, Josh. You spent fucking $300 on war fetish art, and she was sucking dick on the side. Ah, it's tough, Josh Bros. No wonder you can't leave the Blockland. No wonder you can't leave the Blockland behind. 5 years, yes. It's been 5 years of polls so far at Covey, and we're in 2012 now. We're in big 2012, Coney 2012, guys. So let's hear about Josh's depression. The depression was stemming from a lack of social activity and belonging, combined with low income and no future. I wanted belonging with you, and you never rejected me. Just like sidestep, constantly. A full wall of text ignored here, an issue not responded to there, and just, you kept doing that. I had to say stuff like that to get you to listen. To get you to respond. Your mothering instincts is the only nerve besides your looks I could pinch to get you to knee-jerk react reliably. What the fuck, Josh? This guy's a sick puppy. What have they done to our boy Ivan? He was such a sweet little boy, shitting up the toilet and playing Light and Dark 2 or whatever the fuck it was called. And now he's doing this? Jesus. For a long time now, he's been showering me with gifts and attention I never really asked for in between his suicide rants and his mass murder new titles, is that a word? Which he's admitted was all for attention. I never really paid him, however, much to the chagrin of Mr. Moon. And when he'd confess his love for me, and I wouldn't respond, I'd come back home to a tirade like this on my open Steam window. God damn it! I don't understand why nobody can fucking love me for who I am. Nobody. My parents, grandparents, everyone I've ever fucking met. I swear to God, I want to kill and rape as many people as I can before getting cut down by SWAT. That needs to be my life aspiration. You stupid fucking cunts need to suffer. All living things with a vagina. Whoa. Jesus Christ. There's a reason nobody loves Josh Moon. And that's not because he's fat, ugly, or socially awkward. It's because he's a freak. You're a freak, Josh. I remember after... Oh no, that's from Stucky. I remember after he found out my last name, he said that he'd show up to my house while I was at school, shoot my dad, and wait for me to get home. Then he'd subdue me, cut off each individual digit with a knife, heat it in hot grease so that it cauterized as it cut, and I wouldn't bleed out. Then he'd cut off my clitoris and my labia, and then rape my ass until I shat myself. Then he'd just leave me to starve to death or something once all my appendages and my genitals were sliced off and he'd beaten me sufficiently. And what is Josh's excuse for the very insane post? You know, he says, I was really mad that day. You know, Josh was kind of mad, and then he said all this stuff. I'm not going to repeat it. So he's firstly admitting to actually saying it, and his excuse is, I was kind of angry. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ, Josh. He's mad all the time. A.T. Kitten, Colton, Nickelbob, Ultra, Bizjack, and Otis have seen the kind of sick, twisted stuff he says to people in his bipolar fits of rage. Speaking of Nickelbob Ultra, Ivan has an intense hatred for Nick, literally because I paid more attention to him. No! No, Josh. What's he gonna say here? Actually, the most depressing thing about this conversation was knowing that I'm second rate to someone like fucking General Nick. Oh, that's why he got so mad at General Nick when General Nick was posted in that thread earlier. See, it all connects together, guys. It all connects together. General Nick was the dick his fucking one-itis was sucking on the side. Ah, that's tough, Josh. That alone is a death warrant. Jealousy and pessimism define you. I'm jealous in the same sense that if a jeweler and a farmer offered a diamond ring and a bag of cow shit, respectively, to a girl as a gift of engagement, and the farmer was chosen over the jeweler would be somewhat upset. And you call me unconfident. Yeah, except you aren't the jeweler and Nick isn't the farmer. You have such a high and completely unwarranted opinion of yourself. I thought I had no confidence. You haven't accomplished anything in your life, but you think you're better than everyone else. True. I think I'm better than General Nick. I'm inferior to the vast majority of society. True. He got the last bit right, but any mention of Nickelbob in conversation sent him into a butt rage. As we've seen before, I guess. You're tabbing between me and General Nick right now. You know that Nick would love to seduce you. Take off your clothes one piece at a time. We're sucking on your neck. You don't have to fight for people who care about you. You're a woman. Nick has been in bed for an hour. You inherently have people ready to talk to you. Oh, well still, fuck you. He's probably masturbating, as we speak, to the thought of giving you a pearl necklace. And I don't mean the accessory. What the fuck? Yeah, but you can't preach from a high horse and say how you're not getting your dues when you've been nice. I never attack you the way you do me. The worst I do is downplay what you believe to be super serious drama. No. The worst you do is ignore me all the time. When I try talking to you and devoting all of my off time from work to you, you take your time responding. Played with Nick. I gave you everything I could, and you were like, meh, boring, yawn. Okay, I gotta take a quick drink here because my throat's getting fucked from the Josh boys. Jesus Christ. This is kind of fucked up. I mean, Josh always pretends like this was this was two people having a lover's quarrel, we were just 2 years apart and we were just having a lover's quarrel. We were having a little lover's quarrel. But this bitch doesn't give a shit about Josh. This bitch does not give a single shit about Josh. Like, she's there. It's all just for fucking... It's just out of pity. Because he keeps suicide baiting. Imagine having a guy in your DMs every day fucking suicide baiting. Most people would respond because most people have a heart. But this is fucking fucked up. And he makes it out like, some lover's quarrel, but, to save his ego. Because Josh can never be wrong. You just had a shitty relationship, okay? Josh, you never met this woman, you never had sex, and, you know, some other guy was fucking her and you got super, super mad. Even though you never were in a relationship. It is just creepy and fucked up. Paranoia and rage at somebody who I played Warhammer 40k with for like 2 weeks. And because Nick got more attention. Josh Moon was and had consistently been a weird, paranoid fuckwit who wouldn't shut the fuck up about Nickel Bob. And more recently, take my current version. Blocks stalking Nick and Tony in the thread listings, posts, and topic summary area while posting. Will later get it to remove from the last post area on both main board and board listings. To account for the whole personal agendas thing in this thread, the new Blockland community script, as bright as its future is being completely abused to push Ivan's own agenda against me. I talked to King Daro a bit about it the other day, and as paranoia is defined as an irrational fear, my predictions were merely divination. Right now, Ivan has the power to ban people almost. He's going to start releasing one that blocks all trolls. It'll be the only one that got people download. It'll be the only one that people download. And it's going to block people like Lord Trony, Nickel Bob Chrono, and me. Watch him weasel Cal Fitter in there too. So, Josh fucking abusing his powers because he, I don't know, he fucking weaseled himself into fucking a position of power even though he has no skills, does fucking nothing, the whole community fucking hates him. And then he just weasels himself into fucking position of power just because he stays there for so long. And he's the only asshole actually willing to do it for free. And what does he do? He immediately fucking bans all the people he doesn't like. Like, he immediately bans the girl he was talking to for years, who didn't actually like him, and he thought he was in a relationship with, and the guy that was fucking her. Jesus Christ, Josh. Piece of shit. As witnessed the very next day when Ivan added me to the list of people automatically blocked by the new Grease Monkey script. Added by default are Lord Tony and Stalking. To remove these filters, click their profiles and then remove this user from your block list. Nobody asked that I'd be added as default, and it makes a lot of sense that they haven't. The reason the bronies developed the script was to block Tony's posts in the pony thread, seeing as how his posts were gross displays of furry image spam. My posts, however, frequently unintelligent, are on the same tier as people like Katamari and Morty, and does not in any way call for me to be blocked by default as a result of people using this planned community script. I believe Wedge has some bright ideas and that the script can do so many things to benefit the community. But right now, Ivan is just using it to get back at me for not giving him enough attention over Steam. It's a personal bullshit agenda of his that's soiling an otherwise perfectly good script. For those of us who aren't boycotting it yet, don't give Josh Moon the power to completely eliminate people he doesn't like. Very prophetic. Very prophetic. Not just for 2012, also for 2025. And who do we have here? Lizzie Rascal. You know, Josh was calling this last year in 2011, not even 1 year ago. But let's say 1 year has passed. This thread scared me. I think he's still on my Steam. I'm going to remove him right now. Why is this so scary to Lizzie Rascal? You know, this 13-year-old girl by Josh. If we go by Josh's, by Josh's post, this girl is 13. In the best definition, in the most favorable definition, in the most favorable view we could have of the situation, this girl is 13. And why is this such a scary thread? I just remembered something. When I first met Ivan on the forums and added him on Steam, he asked for my address, saying he wanted me and another female user going on a road trip. He really is insane. So, Lizzie Rascal, Let's check out her fucking profile. She's 26 now. So 2012, let's say 13 years ago. This girl is actually 13. Actually 13 by all accounts. At most 13. And Josh Moon, let's say this happened a day before this. You know, she was 13 and Josh was 19? 2012? 19? 20? Oh shit. Yeah, no, 20, at the beginning of 2012 he was 19. Why the fuck is Josh Moon asking 13-year-old girls for their addresses so he can go on a road trip with them? 13. This girl was 13 at the time. 13. And Josh Moon was asking for her address and asking her if she could come on a road trip with him. 13, 19. Not 2 years apart, 6 years apart. Let's ask Grok. Let's go to x.com. Let's ask Grok. Grok, what is 19 minus 13? That's 6. Okay. How big is the age gap between a 19-year-old and 13-year-old? How big is it, Grok? 6 years. Huh. That's a 6-year age gap according to Grok. Now who's lying here? Who is lying here? Is it Grok? Or is it me? Or is it Josh? Because there is no 2-year age gap. There is no 2-year age gap. There's a 6-year age gap. Grok confirmed it. Are you really asking Grok to do basic math? Yes. Because there's no room for errors here, guys. There's no room for errors. I'm asking for a second opinion because my opinion is that 19 and 13, that's a 6-year age gap. But maybe Grok could have had a different answer. But no. Josh tried to go on a road trip with a 13-year-old when he was 19. I thought she was 12 when he tried to do that, the sex offender shuffle on her. Was she actually 13? Well, yeah, let's go with 13. She's 13. In the most favorable view, she's 13. If all things are considered in Josh Moon's favor, she's 13, he's 19. So that's a 6-year age gap, Josh. Why were you asking a 13-year-old girl to come on a road trip with you when you were 19? Kind of weird. Kind of fucking weird, Josh, I gotta say. So let's get... Oh, fuck, there's still 2 more accounts to go, guys. 2 more accounts. Fuck. That's too much. That might be too much. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next guy. You know, that was City RPG. Who's the next guy? Ich-Verbot. You know, we all know that Josh loves the German language. You know, he loves speaking German. He's famous for speaking the German language. So of course he'd give himself a name like Ich-Verbot, which would be ego forbidden. If you want to take it in an artistic way, it's ego forbidden. He's forbidden himself from having an ego. Let's see how it turns out for him. Let's see how it turns out for him. Yeah, people immediately start asking questions. You know, this new account comes in, same avatar. Also his website had that name. So maybe this is just an alt of Ivan's. And yeah, there he is. I didn't buy a new key. I'm using one that I had bought like a year ago for someone else. So yeah, it's Josh. Immediately. Mask off. He's out of prison, but he won't be able to buy a house or hold a decent job because he's a registered sex offender now? Oh, maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe there is some truth to all the sex offender talk. Maybe that is why Josh can't get a job. Maybe that is why he has to run the honeypot kiwi farms for the feds. Maybe that's it. She was mature for her age. Yeah, she had to be to survive this. So let's, who we haven't really heard from. We haven't heard from programmer Josh Moon in a while. So all of a sudden, Josh comes back, and this is the new leaf he's trying to turn. Ivan explains it all. What does he mean? Does he talk about all the child trafficking shit? Does he talk about his pedophilia? Does he talk about all the allegations? No. He talks about fucking programming. I won't have as much time to maintain this stuff as I did before because of my job. I have a job. You guys want to know what this job is? It's flipping burgers in Whataburger. But I'll try and keep up the library and add on it as it required. This is a collection of talk script related to help document for the aspiring scripter. Yeah, Josh came back and now he's helping people program their video games. That's definitely how it's gotta be. That's what he's doing on the Ich-Verbot fucking on the profile, which was last active in 2018. This account not banned, actually not banned, but last active, last logged into in 2018. So this fucking piece of shit was still coming back here in 2018, looking at the fucking Blockland forum, still seething, still stuck here. He's still stuck on the Blockland forums. He's never gonna leave Blockland. You're never gonna leave Blockland, Josh. And now, one last account to wrap it all up. The one we all know, the one we all love. Not important. And you know what that means, guys. You know what that means. We gotta play the clip.
My name is not important. What is important is what I'm going to do. I just fucking hate this world and these human worms feasting on its carcass. My whole life is just cold, bitter hatred. And I always wanted to die violently. This is the time of vengeance, and no life is worth saving. And I will put in the grave as many as I can. It's time for me to kill. And it's time for me to die.
Yeah, that's not important, guys. That's Josh Moon's new account. Not important. My name is not important. So, the glory days of Josh Moon are over. You saw the big expose by Stalking. He tried to turn a new leaf with the fucking programming shit, but Stalking's expose pretty much spelled his doom for his Blockland career. Like, he was run off the forum after that. Rightfully so. And what did he learn? Absolutely fucking nothing. He ran to the Kiwi farms, and he's doing the same shit he was doing back then. He's doing it today. But for one brief moment in time in 2015, just shortly after Gamergate, Josh Moon found himself with some time on his head. Gamergate was over. He returned from the front. He was in the war at Gamergate. He was on the front lines, and he came home with some PTSD, and he wanted to return to a safe place from his youth. And where did he go? To the Blockland forums. And what did he see? Who is Ivan, and why is he banned on site? He sees this post. This piece of shit, Akio. He doesn't even know who he is. Doesn't he know he's in Blockland OG? How does this Akio guy fucking dare ask questions like this? I know he made the City RPG mod, but I'm really not sure why he's banned on site. Also, didn't Badspot say he tried to come back recently? Now, there's discussions happening here. People are talking about Ivan. They're talking and talking and talking and talking. But they're talking about Josh. They're talking about Ivan. But then this fucking guy, Dr. Hitchius, he made a banger fucking post. My name is not important. And you know what he's referencing here? Of course, all the fucking weirdo suicide bait shitty ass posts that Josh made all the fucking time, baiting his suicide, telling people that he was gonna gun down everyone he could. He's gonna kill as many and rape as many as he can. Which sounds exactly like the guy from Hatred. And he makes this banger post. And Josh Moon, he sits there. And he's no longer Ivan. He can't come back as Ivan anymore. But he could come back as not important. His name was not important. Important was what he was gonna do. And he was gonna explain everything. He was gonna do one final Q&A to wrap up his Blockland saga. And he was gonna say, "Speak of the devil and he shall appear," and this gay fucking thing that he always does on stream. You can thank Otis for this. You could thank I can't do the Josh voice anymore. It's gone. Yeah, sorry. You can thank Otis for this. He asked me last week if some rando using my email address showed up in the chat room to ask for Manti was me. Yeah. Then he told me about this thread. AMA go. Okay, do we believe this? Or is Josh Moon still obsessed? He came back in 2018 too. Of course he fucking came back. He's always looking at the fucking Blockland. He's still trying to fucking relive his youth. All the people you talked to back then are gone, Josh. They moved on. They did something with their life. Everyone fucking moved on. Why don't you move on too? No, you're still stuck here on the Blockland forums. In 2025, 10 years after your fucking AMA return, 10 years later, after everything already fell apart, you're still here. Was your mom's boyfriend ever convicted after burning down the house? Yes. I don't know if he's out now. I never checked after the trial. What are you up to these days, coding-wise or general-wise? I moved from Florida to Portland, back to Florida, to Brisbane, Australia, and now I live in Manila, Philippines. I'm working on an open-source, crowd-funded project. I plan on building a startup with my Australian friend in China after this is done. Yeah, that turned out really well for you, Josh. Yeah, that really turned out really well for you. All your plans, it all worked out in the end. All that really worked out in the end. We're not gonna read all of his gay-ass AMA. Fuck all of his gay-ass AMA. We're gonna wrap it up with one final post. One post to end them all, guys. And it's not on the Blockland forums. It's not on the Blockland forums. It's on this piece of shit website. And it's this. It's this one, guys. I'm going to bed soon. Since Ralph is going to basically be reading this thread while collecting super chats, I give 2 cents before getting comfy. Always with the 2 cents, Josh. Always with the 2 cents. Even in 2021, you're still coming in with the 2 cents. Should have listened to Ike. Don't fucking give your 2 cents all the time. Fuck your 2 cents. I don't want your 2 cents. That's 2 fucking cents. What am I supposed to buy with 2 fucking cents, you piece of shit? Keep your 2 cents. Almost 10 years ago, a girl and I had a fight. She was born December 1994. I was born December 1992. Just shy of exactly 2 years apart. She had a rough childhood and I was an extremely depressed teenager. We would argue constantly, and she was a person who enjoyed arguing. Her biggest fear was being ignored. Bro, she was not trying to talk to you, Josh. She actively tried not to talk to you, Josh. And you were still in her DMs all the fucking time. She was talking to another dude and you were fucking going ballistic on her, telling her you should rape and kill her. You'd rape, kill, and die for Nicholas J. Fuentes. That's what you said, you piece of shit. During a fight, I, a teenager, made a JavaScript plugin. Okay, it was just a little fight, guys. I made a JavaScript plugin for the Blockland forum, which put her on an ignore list by default. A lot of people used this and it triggered her into having a panic attack. That thread is the product of this, and it's a lot of mudslinging you'd expect from two retarded teenagers. Okay, after everything we've just read, after everything we've just heard, why is Josh just warping the truth so much? Like, he didn't make this JavaScript just during one little fight. He's not some expert programmer. It took him months to make this fucking shitty ass JavaScript. And yeah, it put her on a ignore list by default for all the forums she was posting on. She liked posting in the fucking brony forums, and yeah, she was getting mad that she was going to put her on an ignore list by default. Because what was the reason for it? Oh, it was because Josh Moon was mad that he was sucking some other guy's dick. And he was angry as fuck. And he was smithing away in his fucking basement. And he was typing and coding. And making his fucking ban list shitty ass fucking JavaScript thing that could have been done in 3 hours. And he was slaving it away over it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Yeah, and a lot of mudslinging expected from two retarded teenagers. Okay, she sounded very reasonable. And you sounded unhinged, psychopathic, and kind of like a pedophile, Josh. You sounded kind of like a pedophile. And you sounded kind of like a rapist. No, actually you sounded like a real rapist. Because you said you'd drive to her house, shoot her dad, and rape her and cut off all her appendages. That's fine. It wasn't mudslinging between two retarded teenagers. It was one retarded teenager. And one pretty normal teenager growing up in 2012. Maybe one that was a little online, a little too much. And one that was online way too much. Pretty soon after, that cycle of argument, be friends again, rotated back to friends. It continued on and off for a while. I don't think so. I don't believe that. No. When I was 20 and she was 18, we intended to meet up in Portland and start a relationship. I don't believe that. She made a last-second decision to change career paths and join the military. No, Josh, no! Oh, your one-itis joined the military, Josh. No. She became a barracks bunny, Josh. Josh, if you can hear this, your one-itis from the Blockland forums, she never loved you. She was sucking General Nick's dick. And then she went into the military, and she sucked everyone's dick. All of the guys in her barracks were getting sucked off every single fucking day. By your fucking internet crush. Piece of shit. And you deserve it. You deserve nothing good in your life, Josh. That's just the way it is. That's the way you decided your life was going to be. I started hosting the forum soon after that, and moved to Australia after turning 21. No. We continued to talk and had plans to meet up eventually, but the long distance and 10+ year commitment to her career path made this untenable. She was away for months at a time, and we drifted apart as friends. I haven't spoken to her in years, but we didn't break away on bad terms, if I recall correctly. You do not recall correctly. She fucking hates you, Josh. I can tell. Wait, this was liked by Joshua Kuma Troon. That's a good account. Every single person who pretends to care about this is grandstanding on something all involved parties got over a decade ago. This information has been public in Encyclopedia Dramatica for at least 5 years. I've never ever encountered someone whose opinion of me changed as a result of this drama. It has fought up for confirmation bias. I don't blame Ralph for trying to milk it though. It's basically free money, and it's the best he's got. So what do we think, guys? Is Josh Moon was he just in a small lover's quarrel? Was it just a small spat where they immediately made up afterwards and all the allegations are just made up? Or was it a bunch of fucking people all telling him to calm down, to fucking get his life together, and to not be such a fucking spurg on the internet? And maybe stop being a pedophile. Which one of these is true? Was it Ike? Was it Based Phoebe? Was it Stalking who were right? Or was it Ivan? That little psychotic kid that shat his toilet so hard that his kitchen bathroom wall got destroyed. Probably burnt down his mom's house and made post after post about how he wanted to kill his mom. Which one is it? You decide. But now you have the full context.